So this video is about a topic that hasn't, in my mind, been something that I thought that people would enjoy listening to, but it is something that I think is really important, and it's affected me, and that's anxiety and depression, right? So it's probably affected me the most from the ages of 19 to 25, and it's something that is an ongoing battle. I wouldn't say that I'm depressed, but it's something that has been super difficult for me at times. And I think some things I want to cover with what it's like to live with depression, and a lot of you guys probably will be able to relate. When you're in low spirits or you're feeling down, you'll tend to isolate, and a lot of it is self-inflicted. So you'll isolate yourself from friends. You'll be more negative. You'll be less fun to be around. And also you get into bad habits, and you don't recognize the patterns that you're actually going through at the time. So what are some of the challenges with breaking the patterns? So when you're feeling negative, you're not going to feel like leaving the house. You're going to feel like doing what's comfortable. So like playing video games, or only talking to the same people that you're used to talking to. And you're less likely to be social. So you're less likely to hang out with friends when you get invitations to go out to birthday parties, and more social events, right? So that's going to limit your ability to get out of those negative times and to deal with those kind of struggles. And a big part of staying positive and getting past mental health issues is having that support network and being positive. So I think that's probably the biggest thing, being able to recognize your patterns and your negativity, and surrounding yourself around with positive people. So I think the catch-22 with trying to be positive is that if you're negative, you're no fun to be around. So the people around you are less likely to stick around, especially the ones that aren't your close friends. So, but let's be more positive. Let's talk about what's actually helped me cope with, the dark times or the more difficult times. It's recognizing when I'm getting into these really negative spaces, and generally, a good indicator is my room being really messy, or the house being really messy, and my clothes everywhere, and my laundry pile building up. This is a good indication of, my life not being under control. And it's counterintuitive to deal with. And getting yourself out of these dark places, you have to go against what's actually intuitive. So that might mean going to a birthday party that you don't feel like going to. That might mean answering a phone call when you don't feel like answering a phone call to that friend that you probably know you should answer their phone call because they've been there for you, but you just don't feel like talking to them. And you'll excuse yourself out of it saying that you just don't feel like talking to that person, but the reality is you're self-inflicting this to yourself. So, go against the grain. And if the people around you aren't providing the support you need, or you feel like they don't understand your depression or anxiety, then it makes sense to actually socialize with a completely different group, because that removes you and forces you not to talk about yourself and your problems, and temporarily helps you get out of your mindset and negativity. So hopefully that's a little insight for you guys, and that's a little bit of the challenges dealing with depression, and working through sort of tough mental periods of difficulty.